Hi, welcome to Monday's Peace for Peace. It's actually Sunday afternoon when I'm recording this, and I'm at the back of my church in Buckingham. This is St. Andrew's United. And we're going to have a little bit of fun today to introduce a more serious topic, which is what are some of the tools that you can use if you're having an emotional challenge. But follow the storyline with me for just a second, and let's see on this Thanksgiving weekend if we can't find a little bit of humor in some of our more serious challenges. So, true story, I did come out to the Quebec side from Ontario to get out of town, to spend a little bit of time in the afternoon and enjoy what's left of the colors. But imagine, if it was true that I really did break down in the middle of trying to find some respite and some peace and quiet from all of the hustle and bustle of working in COVID. It's Sunday afternoon right now, no garage is open, I'm not going to get any service, and now I need to rely on a few tools to get me through this rough patch here. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. What are the tools that we can use as we have picked up on the last 2 Mondays about dealing with our anger and dealing with our sadness in the midst of all of the grief that we're suffering and facing right now. So this video is going to take place in, like usual, 3 parts. We're going to talk a little bit about a buyer beware thing in just a second. We'll talk a little bit about what's in the resource that you see in the comments, and then we're going to talk about how these various tools here to tinker with a rough patch here, how they function. So the first thing is the buyer beware, okay? And I want you to read what's in the notes. If you use them, read what's in the comments above this video, but I'm going to say it here too. I am not a mechanic, and so really, maybe I know a few things on how to tinker with an engine, change the oil, some spark plugs, but if I got a serious breakdown, I'm not going to do this myself. It's not safe. And so this video today, when we're talking about some tools in order to deal with our mental wellness and spiritual wellness challenges, understand that these are tools, but we are not experts. And if you or somebody that you know has been really struggling for several days with heavier emotions that are really beginning to affect them, this is not the place where you're going to get it solved. You or that person really need to speak to your doctor. If you're in Quebec, go see someone at a CLSC. And if you're in Ontario, go to your family health clinic. And if those emotional challenges are getting to be too much, chances are pretty good that there's some physical ones that go along with it. Okay, so we're clear. This is a question of tools and tinkering. This is not a cure for more serious wellness challenges where our mental health is concerned. That being said, I'd like to give you an idea of some of the tools that might be at your disposal. If, like the video 2 weeks ago, you can't see the forest from the trees and your anger is getting the better of you, or like we did last week, you're stuck on that island of sadness and your sadness is getting the better of you, what can you do? So if you look in the notes that are below in the comments, I lay out something that comes out of what's called acceptance and commitment therapy, and it's called the laying or the laying of the anchor technique. It's divided into 3 meditations and then a way to put those meditations into practice. We're not going to go into the meditations in detail in this video. All I'm going to tell you is that they are a way to get in touch with 3 things. The first meditation is to get in touch with how you are internalizing your heavy emotions, your anger and your sadness. How are you relating to them internally? The second is how are you connecting with the world, knowing that your anger and your sadness may be present. And the third meditation is about finding a voice of compassion. The bottom line in terms of understanding how this works is to say that the pain of our struggles, the actual struggles themselves are not going away. This is about managing a way to get through them better. We would say that the pain's not going away, but the suffering becomes manageable. So, when you go through these meditations and you get a sense of What may have happened? The trip that you're taking metaphorically, things are looking well, and all of a sudden you hit this bump in the road, and next thing you know, you got engine trouble. What do you do with that so that you can continue to function tomorrow and the next day and the next? The idea is to create lists for yourself of things that lead up to a situation that you might anticipate, so that you can understand how to prepare before you are going into the world. So that if you know that a certain kind of a situation may be encountered, you're better prepared to know how you're feeling, how you're interacting, and when you're going to find that voice of compassion. So there it is. That's today's very short and direct message about weighing or laying of an anchor to help us get through the bumps or the storms of life. I hope that's been useful. If you'd like to know more about this, private message me, and I'll be happy to make contact with you. Remember though, we're not the mechanics. These are just tools. If you're struggling, make sure you go to a CLSC or a family clinic and work those things out with a licensed professional. In the meantime, I hope you've had a great Thanksgiving. Be blessed, be a blessing, and we'll see you again next week.